Welcome back to Kenshin Studios. For those who don't know me, I'm your host Emmanuel Vargas, and today we're going to take a dive into a story, one that you'll never forget, one that shapes modern filmmaking in an unforgettable and unexpected way. When people think of filmmakers, they think of one of the greatest who've ever lived. People like Stan Lee, Steve Spielberg, Akira Kurosawa, Martin Scorsese, and Christopher Nolan. But those people are not who I'm talking about today. When you think of the name John Krasinski, you might think of him as a successful actor from one of the best sitcoms not just I, but others have ever watched, The Office. And if you remember 2024, he was labeled sexiest man alive. But besides his characteristics and clever jokes, he is proven to be one of the most unique filmmakers in today's world. Now, tell me if I'm wrong. Most actors who became successful in the industry tend to stay as actors, am I right? That was the case for Krasinski. In the span of his career as an actor, he has spent 9 seasons in The Office playing one of everyone's favorite characters and co-worker, Jim Halpert. But one of the things that people don't know about him is that he wasn't just acting and playing the one roles given. He was learning things about being a director and how to portray a scene better and more meaningful for his film. He was inspired by George Clooney, American actor and director, to be an actor, and he specifically talks about it in one of his interviews with NBC New York when he was making the movie If. In 2018, he finally flipped the script, a film with high stakes tension and suspense, novel concept, no dialogue, even its sound design is so good. It was a huge risk, pouring all of his time and energy and money into this project, but he did it. The man who everyone knew, the jokester, and a comedy sitcom switches to a dark theme, A Quiet Place. Not only did the film gross to $340 million worldwide, it proves that he wasn't trying to portray something similar to other films, or should I say horror films. He was trying something different, something unique. Goes to show he's the real deal. How he stands out as a filmmaker. He did something in this movie that nobody else did. His way of understanding storytelling is what makes the film so, interesting to watch. A world with no dependence on words, mostly sound and the movement and the expression given and shown to the audience. But how does he do it? In most horror films, there has to be jump scares, loud jump scares. Basically, it will be difficult to not rely on words and or sound. But how he uses that as part of his storytelling to fit the role. It's kind of mind-blowing at the end result. You're sitting down on your couch or somewhere in your house or maybe someone else's house, I don't know where you are, but you're unable to make a sound. Gripping your seat as hard as you can because it's like you're in the movie, trying to be as mindful, as cautious as the character trying to survive. A fun fact. When John Krasinski was working on the film A Quiet Place, his wife, Emily Blunt, wasn't supposed to be in the movie. But after convincing and how they were both a couple, it seemed reasonable that she should be in the movie. And she was right. And that made the film more like it was supposed to be written that way. Connecting his life to his storytelling. 2 actors in the movie that plays as parents are actually, in fact, parents. It's amazing. It's mind-blowing. And to follow that up, he makes another A Quiet Place Part 2, continuing and improving his ability to storytelling and balancing the action, emotion, and suspense of the story, while being it as a horror film, high stakes. It makes it easier for him to direct the actors on when to take it slow and move naturally. and then take it to the next level. Makes it feel real, like you're in the moment. John Krasinski has left a serious mark on modern filmmaking. He's one of those actors that can prove to other actors that you can take risks, become a filmmaker, be creative, and use what they learned, their experience, and put it into their work. But he didn't stop there. He went and made another film. In 2024, the movie If was something completely different from the film A Quiet Place. A story of adventure, fantasy, and some heartfelt moments, with actors we know such as Ryan Reynolds, Steve Carell, of course Emily Blunt, Brad Pitt, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, George Clooney, and others. Also, fun fact: he thought about this movie during the pandemic, which was like 5 years ago, and it was inspired by his kids. It was personal to him because it portrays how the imagination of kids impact them, especially his two daughters. He wanted to keep the imagination alive and for them to experience that magical moment, and for others to know and feel that too. And so to conclude, is John Krasinski one of my favorite filmmakers? Yes. Is he one of the greatest filmmakers in the world or of all time? Maybe not. If you have any questions or thoughts, comment down below or check out our website, Kenshin Studios. Link is in the description. Thanks for listening to it then. See you next time.